everywhere.
Hello. 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 I still need to activate the webcam, but I will be with you in a second. I'll be with you in a second. Okay, it's calibrated. It is. At least it looks like. Boom. Hello. 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 Good evening to everyone. Today is Monday and we are streaming Plane Shift Development. There is a very large patch for Cyberpunk 2077, just came out. I don't know if you have the game, but in case you have the game, is 33 gigabyte of patch. So it's basically a new game. No, but they are fixing a lot of. They fixed a lot of bugs and fixed. I don't think they added anything. It's just a huge bug fixing release. It's also making the handling of the cars a bit better. And yeah, I already downloaded it and I was testing it a few minutes ago. And then I said, what do I do? I continue to play or stream. And I said, well, obviously stream. And so here I am. We have a nice picture of the day. Very purple shiny. So what I want to do is to make the compendium actually functional. Okay, so we had this nice picture where we said, oh yes, the compendium will be connected to all these pieces, but then we built the data structure for it, but we never created the actual activation mechanism which are capable of which is this part, right? This one. the activation mechanism, which will allow to actually learn something new as a new player, right? So this part is missing. I would like to do it today. I don't think it's too tough. I think that our structures are already kind of ready for it. I just need to think a bit of how to do it, but basically the simple line is explaining it. So inside the activation type, which is one of the fields that we have inside our codex nature, which is at the moment the one we want to activate, because we will have to do the activation also for all these other pieces, but at the moment we activate this piece, right? We want to be able to activate creatures, plants, and minerals. And the activation methods are through a book, through a skill ability, or let's call it talent, through a skill ability or a talent, which is the one here at the top. This one. Through a book, or by fighting that particular creature. Okay, so I think to express this concept is fairly easy. I think that we should put in our codex nature this information, and I think that we already created the activation type field. Well, sorry, I was yawning. Field, and so yes, we're gonna to put it here. Now the activation type at the moment is loaded only as a simple text, right? But it's not parsed in any way. So I think we should when we are loading the activation type, when we are loading this, and we are loading it. By the way, I think this activation type, if I can put here also this description, I think will be best. Yes, so that we have it also in the code. So this activation type, we basically need to parse. You see that at the moment we are just loading it into this variable, but I don't think we really need it in this variable, actually. I think what we need is to parse it, and I think for parsing it we can probably create another function, right? And I think that the function can go inside Discovery Manager. I think would be a good idea. So I think we will add in Discovery Manager a new function that we will call something like parse discovery activation method, or something like that. And it will take basically only a string. We'll take only a string, and it will what? So we can say parses the activation method, and so what it will do, it will put the proper information in the right place, and place the codex ID or the codex entry into the relevant item, like a book, you know, like a book or a creature or whatever, right? So this is what this should do. Now it's not completely clear in my mind yet how to do it. but we will reason on this, okay? So I'm not fully aware of how I want to do it, but so for now it'd be something like that, and there is one point though. The discovery manager is actually inside a PS character, is a piece of a PS character, while here we are loading outside of it. So or we make this yeah. So it is why originally I had here a compendium manager, right? Because this one actually lives inside PS character, and or I make this function static, or hello Sean, welcome. Hello everyone. Now the question is, where should we put this one? Because yes, we can put it inside Discovery Manager, but Discovery Manager is part of a character and it should be instantiated. So, or we put it in Cache Manager. It's a bit of a pity though, but I think we don't have another way. Or we make only this method static, but then we need to make the class static as well. If I make only this method static, can I call it, I think I can, right? If I make only this method static, can I PS Discovery Manager that thingy? Can I do this? Or not? I think I can. I think I can. Let's see. Let's see what Visual Studio says, but I think I can. I'm just recompiling. What other games are you playing, guys? Apart from Plane Shift, which is the the obvious answer, but apart from that, what are you playing? It's building. It is building, yeah. I want to create the new alpha, but I want to have the cache manager, the discovery manager, the compendium working before releasing. So I think I need to have few more hours of work, but then I will release it. I think in the new alpha we have a good good new functionality already. Wow, how much is it taking? Is it because I changed yeah, I just added a new function to the header file. It's taking so much. It's taking so much. We have a rotation angle which is hiding a class member. Okay, succeeded. So yes, we can call it that way, which is nice. Which is nice. So I can have this parse and discovery. Okay. Now I think it's fairly simple because our syntax is, well, simple. The parsing is simple. Now the activation may be a bit more complex, but so we need to take this activation thingy and check if it's a book or not, right? So we will go with activation, and then I think there is something. Okay, Visual Studio is thinking, but we will just search for those keywords, right? Essay, kill, and things like that. Where the one of the book will point to the stat ID, item stats ID. Now, when we find it, right? When we find it, can I have a freaking, thank you. I think we can directly do a start with, because all these ones are not I think we have few cases, right? So we have the case in which the activation is starting with book something. We have, and we will do some stuff. Then we have the case where it's starting with an ability. And then we have the case where it's starting with a kill, a number of kills, right? So basically, activation is a book. Activation is skill ability, and activation is number of kills, right? Now the number of kills I think will be the most annoying to do because we need to put it. But anyway, we will see. So if the activation is a book, right? If the activation is a book, what we want to do, I think we want to have this information. So do we want to have the information stored in the Discovery Manager somewhere and then query the Discovery Manager for it? Or do we want to have the information stored in the actual book? Have the information stored in the actual book. We have these two options, huh? So I could have a team app inside Discovery Manager, right? Again, can be a static member of the class, and we can store by ID of the book. We can have a pointer to our codex item. And then we can find the codex item by ID. And from the ID, I can scan for plants, minerals, and creatures. And I can then activate it. There is one way. The other way would be to add a property in the book. But I don't think adding in the book is a great idea, now that I think about it, you know? I don't think it's a great idea. I think basically the skill, because here I did it for the ability, right? So I said every ability is containing a codex entry, and so when you use that particular ability, But yeah, in this case, I think I'm more comfortable in doing it this way because the abilities are actually loaded server side and all and available to cache manager. Pretty much like a static information. While the book may or may not be, maybe the book can be destroyed, the book can be moved, the book can be reloaded, the book, you know, so the book is actually an item in the game. So I think that it's not the best idea to store this information in the book itself. So I think my take on this is that we will store it in the discovery manager. Should we make a compendium manager, boys? Because, okay, I have it as static here, but I think there will be a lot more happening. I think we need to make a compendium manager. I think all the stuff that is related to discoveries of our character, because otherwise, you know, otherwise what I need to do, I need to create. No, I don't like it. I need to create I need to create a compendium manager. There's no way. There is no way because I'm thinking to the other possibility. Hello Tua, good evening. Hello Marcelo, hello Hula. Hey, hey, hey. We are working on the compendium and I'm trying to make the activation actually working, right? And I'm struggling a bit with the with the storage of the data of the activation method of the compendium, because I think they should go somewhere. So I can put it in cache manager. I mean, if we don't want to create a compendium class, I can just put it in cache manager. Cache manager is already storing a million things, right? For example, it's storing all these data structures, right? All of them already. So and it's actually stored. The problem is that I need a structure that is keeping the activation by ID. But wait a second, because yeah, I think I can do it in cache manager. Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah. Let's do this because cache manager is already keeping all the other. Okay. So let me add a compendium activation by ID. I think this one will be. The problem is, do we do it as a tmap by int pointing to what? Pointing to the yeah, in one case is item stats ID, in the other case is characters.id. characters.id is characters.id. You know that this thing is a bit stupid what I said because actually I'm confusing myself now. Wait a second. So this entry is already pointing to the item stats. No. It's not the same item stats. I mean, for creatures it will be, but for books, one thing is the item stats ID of the book, and another thing is the item stats ID of the flower or mineral or creature. So yeah, absolutely. So these are two different ID. They are pointing to the same table, but they are completely different ID. So I cannot get it from there. So I need to point from this ID. Let me do minerals and plants first, which is a bit easier. So do I want to point to a PS Codex plants and mineral pointer, or do I want to point to a Codex item pointer? Or do I want to point to a Codex item pointer? Oh my god. Because Codex Plant and Minerals has all of this. Codex Item Pointer is basically a simplification of this with the ID and the name and the description and the icon, and is what we send to the client. And is also what we store in the database under character discoveries. Knowledge type, child table ID. Yes, I think it's pretty much the same because both structures contain the information that we need. Both structures contain. So this structure contains the information we need, and Codex item contains also the information we need. The only difference is that this one is containing also some other useful stuff, like for example the activation script. Or the prerequisite which we need anyway to check in case of activation. Yes. So we need to actually point to this one. Yes, I think this is the best idea. Okay, so assuming that it is the case, we are calling this Codex we can call it still Codex Plant and Minerals, but we will name it something like by ID or by stats ID. I know that the variable names start to be a bit long, but Codex Plant and Mineral by stats ID. So in this case the key is item stats .id of the book. of the book activating this entry, right? So yes, the item is the item stats ID of the book activating this entry. So in the same way, we will have the creatures. In the same way, we'll have the creatures, which would be codex creatures by char ID, where the key is the characters ID of the creature activating this entry. Now what I'm thinking is what happens with the other parts, right? Like the story or the faction. The story of the faction, we said, what did we say? We didn't say anything yet. We didn't think about it. We didn't think about it. But I think will be all coming from books. Or by what? I think the story can actually come from quest, by the way. I think we will think about it when we arrive there. For now, we activate these two things, okay? Which is already enough. But I think designing this will not be very easy. The story, the faction, and this one also will not be very easy. But let's go step by step. For now, we have the first two, and the first two are activated by these two new structures. We just need to be sure that these two new structures are actually initialized to empty at the beginning. So I think that when we are preloading the compendium, we should just clear out. Oops. We should just clear out these two structures just to be sure that they are completely empty. And okay. So we empty those structures, and then when we go through the parsing, wait, yeah, when we go through the parsing, inside of this, we will use those structures. So we will say wait, there is a bug in the logic. Fuck. There is a bug in the logic. How do I know if this entry is referring? Ah, yes, because I have it by the item ID, right? I have it by the item ID. Yes, I have it by the item type. Okay. Well, that's not bad. So I can have an int item type passed on to this function as well, because otherwise I cannot determine it. So I need to pass my item type. Even if this one is for creatures, and the same I will have for plants and minerals. So it would be exactly the same. Yes, 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 yes. Probably will be the same also for locations in the future, but at the moment we don't know because we didn't work on the locations yet, right? Okay. So we can switch by item type, and so if the item type is 1 or 2, we know that we are parsing a creature, right? And in that case, then we can add to the codex creatures. So I will add, why is not, I don't know, it's not parsing for some reason. But basically what do we need to add? We need to add the ID of the book, which is basically activation, and then I don't know, left chop. I always confuse these ones. Left chop. Fuck, I always left count. Left chop count. I always forget the difference between these two. Returns the leftmost characters from the string, chopping the given number of characters from the end. No, the opposite. Right chop. Return the string to the right of the specified location. To the right of the specified location, counting forward from the left. Yes, exactly. So if I do right chop 2, if I do right chop 2, it should give me the freaking number, right? ID. So we need to have string from int, no, from no, not from int. We need to do the opposite. We need to do fc string a to e. Yeah, this. Okay. So this is extracting the ID, right? This is extracting the ID. To the right of the specified location. Okay, so in theory 2 should take the text that is and we can also trim it. I mean, in case there are spaces or anything. Yeah, maybe it would be a good idea to trim it. Can we trim in line something? Can we trim start and end? Okay, just to be sure there are no weird spaces. But I think that the A to I is anyway doing the trim, I think so. But anyway, just in case. So we extract the ID. Yes, we extract the ID. We know that we have to work on creatures, and so we add the ID of the book, which is activating the thingy, and we and what? And we need to find the codex creature which is referring to that. assuming that I already created the codex creature. Because actually I'm creating it exactly in this moment. You see, it's this one, which has not been added yet to my thingy. So I need to do it after this, because if I do it before this, it will not work. Or we do it in another pass, or we just do it down here. Add a reference to the activation tmap. I don't know. Because here I have it, right? Well, actually, you know what? I don't know why I need to do this, because actually is I have it already. Is this one? It's the same pointer, so I can just you know what I can do? It's much easier. I just pass the pointer. Yeah, probably yes. I don't know why. Ah, but I don't know what is it though. Because it will be different if it's a plant. Well, I can make two functions. Because I have different array. I think I need two functions. I need one function which is parse plant and mineral activation method, and another one which is creatures. And I need to call it down here. By the way, in this case, it's plant or mineral instead of and. But yes. That is. I think that is better. I think that is probably better than the previous way. So I need to create in Discovery Manager actually two methods, and they will take the first one will take a codex creature and the sec pointer, and the second one will be similar, and it will take I hope we never decide to change the categories, because if we change the categories, boys, it will be a mess. Okay. So we will have two of those. Now the only annoying part is that they will look similar in terms of construction, but I think it's okay. So basically, if we start, okay, so if we are parsing a creature and we are activating that creature with a book, I think at this point I don't even need to do this because it's automatically creatures. And so I will go with cache manager codex creature by char ID add ID and C. Right? Unless it is inaccessible because it's private. And I will have the same. But for plants or minerals. And it will have this thing, plants or mineral. It will be the same here. And it will be the other array. Right? The other array with PM. Now, yes, the only problem is that obviously activation now is something like activation type. And the same here. Yeah, it would be the same here. Yeah, I think there is probably a better way. I'm thinking, but I think it's probably a better way. Yeah, these two are not accessible actually. I think we can have, or we make them accessible, or we make Discovery Manager a friend as usual, or we create just an add function which is public. Add new entries to the tmaps by ID for Compendium. Yeah, I think we can create maybe some methods. Add codex. What do we call it? Activation by ID. I don't know. Add codex activation by ID. The problem is that we need to do it on. We need to do it for each one. Add codex. And this one will have the same signature as this, right? So we'll have the same signature as the tmap. Yeah, because I'm not too comfortable in making all those structure public, then it will become a mess. So I think it's probably better if I and so these two are public, are taking the same, and they are manipulating the structure. Hello, Pulsar. Hey, welcome. We are a bit deep into this activation thingy, but we're a bit deep into this thing, but we will do it. We will fix it. I'm a bit deep into this, but I think I'm pretty much I think I'm on the right track anyway. So is I don't know if adding all these methods is a good, I mean, but I think yes. I think it's better to have, you know, methods that are explicit for doing what we want, instead of having something all in Discovery Manager, which is so because this one is working on a structure which is declared on Cache Manager, and I think it's better to keep it there just for consistency, you know, kind of object-oriented design. So everyone is managing his own data. It's not that what the fuck? Where was that? Here. So we'll just do this, which is, I mean, kind of a one-line method, but this way we are managing I'm managing a bit the encapsulation of those methods into the cache manager, which is you know, just adding or removing from his own structure, and I think is more clean than having Discovery Manager access those structures and do whatever he wants with it. For example, we don't want anyone to remove methods to remove entries from that tmap. So that is why we don't want to expose it, right? Guess your favorite programmer? I don't know. I think there are a lot of good programmers out there. It may be a tiger, though. I think if you say, who is my favorite tiger programmer, I think it will be fairly easy to guess. Okay, so basically now we have two methods to parse the activation method and to put it into the cache manager structure, which is then adding it to the ref ID. And so when we need to access the ref, okay, I think all of this is working kind of fine, at least for what I can think of at the moment. The other one is a bit more, well, is it different? Let's say the other one is different because it is the scalability. So in this case, we know that we already have a structure of scalability registered in Cache Manager, to which we want to add the activation method for the specific rank and for the specific talent, right? So this is what we want to do. So I think I have already added here to my scalability a new entry which is codex creature, codex plant and mina. You see that they are different because they are pointing to, yes. No, I'm not your favorite programmer. I'm your favorite tiger programmer. So from all the tigers that you know that are actually programming, I'm the favorite. That I can say yes. Because if I am your favorite programmer of all the programmers, that seems to be a bit too much. Codex creatures. Okay, so we so what do we do at the moment? So what do we do with this? So we want to find an ability by ID. I think in Cache Manager we already have the possibility to get an ability by ID. Get skill. I can get a skill by ID. I can get a skill by ID, but in this case I don't want a skill by ID. I want a skill ability. I want a skill ability piety. Get all abilities by category. What is this thing doing? Category. What do you mean by category? Wait, I don't remember how we do. Okay, so preload skill ability. Preload skill abilities. So we are searching from skill and skill abilities. Yes. And we order by category. I don't remember what is this category on the skill abilities. I don't have any idea. It should be under skills abilities. Yes, this one. Skills ability grouped by category. Where is the category? Ah, you mean skill ID? Why wait a sec. S category. Skill ID. Skill ID category. Ah, category. Combat, magic, various. Ah, in that sense. Okay. This one, the category is the panel. I mean, the grouping, how do we group skills? And in particular, the panel, when you open the skill window, you have different tabs, and there is one for combat, one for magic, one for various, one for jobs, one for whatever, right? So I think that here we decided, for whatever reason, to group them by set. It's kind of annoying though, huh? Because in this case, I don't know which category is it. In this case, I don't know which category. Well, actually, I know. Because actually, I know because it's not stats, it's not combat. Holy shit. It's based on this. It's based on this. So I know that if it's creatures, must be empathy. And empathy is under various, I guess. Empathy is under magic. What the fuck? What? Empathy is under magic. What? Empathy is under magic. What do you mean? Let me see in production. Empathy. Ah, various. And why in the dummy database we have it under magic? I think we should... I mean, various. Obviously is under various. Cannot be under magic. Herbal is under magic. What the fuck? Now this table is fucked up, guys. We need to reinitialize it because it's not. This list is fucked up. I mean, it's completely fucked up in the dummy database. Okay, apart from the fact that it's missing the description, but that I don't really care. The practice factor is different, but also this one I don't care too much. But I care more about. Can I copy all of this and put it here? Or? No, that would have been too easy. Okay, but we can live without description. Okay, so description is not something that I really care, but I care about this category because if the category is wrong, we are really in trouble because they will be grouped differently. So combat until 11. Okay, then magic until 17. Okay, then 2 combat. This is already fucked up. Because all of this is various. Then we have various until 28. Yes. Then we have jobs magic, jobs various. No, it's completely different. 29. 29 should be jobs. I mean, assuming that is the same skill, but it's alchemy. Yeah, it's alchemy. So jobs, magic, job various. Job magic, job various. Okay, then magic job various. Magic. Oh, it's completely fucked up. 30 is magic. 30 is magic. 31 is jobs. 31 is jobs. Then various jobs. No, there are some that are on magic category for whatever reason. 33, 34 is jobs. Then 3 various. Then 3 various. Then jobs until 46. Jobs until 46. Okay, then stats until 52. Stats until 52. And then everything else is values except 64. No, 65. Everything else is... no. Everything else is jobs, yeah. But here we don't even have the names. Well, anyway, I think that those names are not really... "53 is musical instrument and is various." 53 is musical instrument. It's not even there. Anyway, let me normalize this. We're not gonna use them now, but I think it's better to keep it consistent, you know, between the two databases. I don't know if we want to put in all these other skills, but like 52, maybe we can put only the important ones, but I think all of these are not implemented. Fishing we may need 58. One day we will redo fishing, huh? One day. Okay, I think that for now is fine. The only thing that I need empathy. I need empathy under various, okay? And then I need herbalism, which is actually herbal, under jobs, okay? And then I need mining under jobs as well, I guess. Mining under jobs, okay. Okay, so I can search by category. So that's, I did this only to align with the production data and ensure that we can search by category, because our objects are organized by category. Our skills are organized by category for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I mean, yes, I know why, because they have to be presented this way in the UI. Hello, Tony. Good evening. So, so what do we need to do? If he's a creature, we know that he's empathy. And if we are activating by skill, we can get all abilities by category. Yes, where the category is... Fuck, why he wants an ID? He wants an ID of the category. What do you mean an ID? An ID, so probably there is an enumeration. Probably there is an enumeration somewhere. This one. Okay, so at least here we can use the so this one is returning a T array. Do I have a better way to access these freaking skills? Because it's a bit annoying that I have to go through this. I mean, I can go through this, I can, but it's a bit stupid that I have to go through this. Let me see if there is a better way. Isn't there a way to access the freaking skills directly? Skill info ID hash. Yes, exactly. Please give me a function to access this. No, wait. I'm doing yeah, get skill by ID, but get skill by ID. I need the ability of the skill. Fuck, wait, I can get the abilities by category. We are not storing the skill ability by anything else than the set, I think. I think that's the problem that we have. So actually it's not skill, but it's skill ability. Skill ability, skill ID hash. Yes, this one goes by skill set. Yeah, we only go by skill set. I'm not completely sure why I did it this way. Why I did it only this way, because in theory I may also need to access the skill abilities by the skill ID. Isn't there a way from the skill to get the skill ability? I think there should be. It's actually the opposite. From the ability I can access the skill ID. Yeah, I have it only the other way around, but okay. So we will basically have to maintain another, or I mean, there are two ways. Or we maintain another T map of skill abilities directly accessible by skill ID, or we just go through the thing that I was going through now. which is fine anyway. We are doing this only when we are loading the server the first time, so this thing will not slow down anything, right? So this is basically returning a skill set. The skill set, the skill set will have, I could probably find it by, the skill set. Sorry, the skill set is having a list of abilities. Now I think I need to iterate through that. I need to iterate through that and see if I find my ability ID, which in theory should be under abilities, and then abilities is what? Abilities is again another array, and then here I have the ID of the ability. So actually what I need to access is this. What I need to access is this. Yeah, it's a bit of a, I don't know, it's a bit of a waste to do it this way. So basically I need to cycle on all the skill sets, cycle on all the abilities, and finally find my freaking ability. It's just because I'm not storing the ability in any other way, which is kind of stupid. Just kind of stupid. Have skill ability. No, I'm thinking because I think we will need it also in other cases, you know. And if we don't have another way to find the new ability, but we have to go through all this skill set, I think is kind of stupid. Yeah, because it's inside the skill set. But the point is that when we will activate the particular ability, I will definitely need a way to immediately go to the ability. I cannot, you know, cycle through million array just to find my ability. I mean, there's no way. There's no way. And at the moment, it's the only way to reach it. And it's very bad. So I think I need another... what is this? Discovery. Ah, because one discovery... Yeah, because you can also discover an ability. Oh my god. Okay, but... I think we need to keep... I think we need to keep... do I know? The problem is, do we store it? I think I need to keep another structure with the list of abilities. There is no way. I have to do it. The only question is, do we do it by do we do it by ability ID or by ability name? Because when we will issue the command, when we will issue the command on the client side, I think it will be something like /ability and then the name of the ability. For sure will not be the ID. So I think it will be best if the tmap is storing the ability by name. But in our case that we are considering now, we actually have it by ID. So I think that the tmap should be by name because it's the most accessible when you are executing the ability by name. Because we also want it to be kind of a command line, potentially scripted, so people can put it in a shortcut in the UI. So I think the by name is more, you know, user friendly. But undercover, we have the ID. And so in this case, which is a pre-parsing, I can go and scan the whole ability list and find my or we keep two tmaps, one by ID and one by name, which is probably the best idea anyway. Yeah, probably is the best idea. Let's keep two and fuck it. Let's keep two. Okay, so if I want to keep two, the question is, where do I have the skill ability? We have it here, skill structure, right? And this will be skill abilities structures. And I will need a tmap by Visual Studio, hello. Visual Studio, hello. F skill ability. So I will need one like this, and I will need one like this. And this one will be skill ability by ID. And skill ability by name, right? Skill ability by ID hash and skill ability by name hash. So this is just, you know, these are two supporting structures to just store exactly the same data. And anyway, all of these are pointers, so we are not duplicating any data in any way, but we are ensuring that we have a quick way to access this information, considering the ability can actually be quite a number. So we have like, I don't know how many, like 80 skills. Every skill can have, I don't know, 5 abilities. So it can be 400, 500. So I don't want to, you know, I don't want to scan arrays of 500 elements, you know, at every usage. So I think I want to store them, you know, by so storability in supporting tmaps, right? And so we will just say add ability ID and then new ability, and the other one, which is ability by name, add, we will go new ability name, and new ability. Okay, so now we have these two new thingies created for us, which we just need to be sure that we are initializing them somewhere, because I don't want them to be let me see where we initialize this one. We never initialize it, huh? GG. We never initialize it? Okay, we never initialize it. It's not a good idea. We should initialize it when we create cache manager. So there is definitely a cache manager initialize or similar function. And cache manager, there is not an initialize. Okay, we can do it in the new. We can do it in the constructor. So we will just initialize this to this, and it's just for safety. Actually, it seems that it's working okay also without this, but just for safety, we are putting them at 0 as soon as we create cache manager. And maybe, yes, maybe before this one. Okay, so the good news now is that we have these two functions, which is scalability by ID, scalability by name. Now, we need two accessor functions because these one are protected, and I think it's good that we keep them protected. So I will create two new methods, similar to when we search for I think we have a lot of functions here. Okay, let's put it down here. Skill, abilities, accessors, right? But we had one, right? Because it was the one that I was using here, which was get all abilities by category. So yes, why we don't put it where we have that one? Get all ability by category, so which is here. And yes, let's put it here. Let's put it here, boys. Look at this split. You like it, huh? You like it, like it. Wait. Okay. And so we will have what? We will have a get ability, get skill ability by ID and get skill ability by name, right? So just to access by name, just to access those two thingies, right? And both of them will return an F skill ability pointer, and yeah. And these two functions we also need to implement somewhere here. And yes, we will implement them here. And this will be cache manager, blah, blah, blah. And this thing will do, okay, so what this thing should do? Nothing. You should just get it from the tmap and that's it. Luckily we have the tmap. Actually, I could have probably written the thing here directly, but I mean, it's one line. It's one line. Is skill, whatever, right? There's one line, so maybe I can just put it there and fuck it. So we just need to do skill ability by ash dot find of our ID. He's trying to help me, but he's not helping me. And the same here, just by name. Just by name. I know it's not super clean to do it this way, but it's fine. It's one line. I mean, it's less than one line. If you want, I can do it like this, if you prefer. If you find it less messy, I can do it this way. Okay. If it's less spaghetti code, I can do it like this. The only thing that I don't remember is the find or find ref. Hello, 1L Phoenix. Hey, hey. Hello, Ali Juviale. What? You want the tiger to fight you? I can do this. Look. Am I scary enough? Am I scary enough? So we get these two thingies, so we don't need any more the two functions here. Probably they were a bit overdone. Just trying to understand this find or find ref. I don't remember the difference. The find ref was returning automatically a pointer or something. What was the reasoning behind? I don't remember. Okay, but anyway, so we need to use this one. Now, in this case, in our case, we will use by ID, but in the future we will use... So now all of this becomes so much simpler because we will just go cache manager, get skill ability by ID, and in this case we will return an F skill ability pointer, which will be our ability, and here we will just pass in the ID, which we have in ID, and that's it, right? So it will be so much simpler. Now inside this ability, I want to put my two new thingies. How are you? I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I'm good working on this new functionality, which is always nice, trying to make it working, and I think we can see something by the end of tonight. Yes, I think we can see something working, hopefully shortly. I'm just trying to make it, you know, right more than quick, and it is why it's taking a bit more time, but I think it's okay. So if I go under skills, we said that our skill ability now is two new pointers. Here it is, right? We have two new pointers. So our ability can trigger an attack, or our ability can trigger a codex entry. And we have two different potential pointers. One is codex creature and the other is codex plants. So if I do ability codex creature equal to codex creature equal to C, which is my creature, right? My codex creature entry. I think this is exactly what we need. We don't need anything else. And in the same way, if it's a plant, if he's a plant, we will get the skill ability by ID, and then here we will do ability codex plant equal to PM. Okay, and then we have the last one, which is the activation by number of kills. This one I have no idea at the moment where to store it. We can store it in the creature. We can store it in the creature. No, we cannot store it in the creature. We cannot store it in the creature. We need to do it similarly to what we did here. But maybe before doing that, you know, let's at least test. Let's at least test something, because we added a lot of code, and we need to see if any of this may be working. Yeah, we are streaming at the same time on Twitch and on YouTube. And the chat is merged. You can see it on the bottom right. Let's put a bit of music. Okay, I'll put just some background music. Video games music, by the way. YouTube didn't answer because YouTube is not a person. You need to say something like hula answer. Hello, Rwanda. I didn't see you. Hello. Okay, let's see first if our code compiles. Which is already a good step. And then we will see if it works. Okay, we have some fail thingy. Oh, yes. Yes, it was fine, ref. Otherwise, it's a pointer to pointer. Our game is a fantasy MMO. It's a fantasy MMO set into an original setting. So the lore, I mean the world itself, the lore, the universe, whatever, is all created by us, as long as well as the races are created by us, even if some are the typical, you know, elves, dwarves, but there are also some special races which are unique to our setting. Yeah, and so we have the game working already on a different engine because we built it many years ago when we were young. And now we are porting it to Unreal Engine because we want to upgrade, you know, a bit of the graphics and upgrade particle effects and spell effects and everything. So we need a new engine, and porting a game to another engine is something, I have to say. Is something quite complex, but we are doing it. And it's coming along very well. But it's been a lot of effort. It's been a lot of effort to make the game, in the old engine, and it's been a lot of effort to port it. Okay, build succeeded. Build succeeded. Okay, so if build succeeded, how do we test this? How do we test this? Well, I think I can just run the server and see if the code that we did is actually working or not. But then we will need a book. We will need to put some data in a book and actually see. Yeah, and by the way, that piece of code is still missing, so I didn't yet trigger the codex activation. I just loaded the way it could be activated, right? Okay, so but let's do this. Let's try to go in Discovery Manager, put a breakpoint here, and a breakpoint here, and let's put some data. So we will say, for example, that we will say that this one wait, I need to be consistent with what we said here, eh? I need to be consistent with this. So basically, description and picture should go on empathy. So description yeah, you know what is that actually if we always point to the same ability, I could have generated automatically, but let's say the current system allows us to change this, right? But thinking about it now that I'm adding the data, basically I'm gonna put skill ability. No. Skill ability, boys. Skill ability. So it means that I will have a skill ability for my empathy skill, right? So I will have a skill ability which is for example, how do we call it? I have no idea. Let's just put a stupid name for now. They will. So examine humans. Okay. So it will just be examine humans. There is an ability that is gained with the skill 31. Right? And is learned at rank 10. Hello, Phonics, thank you for the follow. And is learned at skill 10, at rank 10, and you can recognize, or you can examine and learn. You can learn about a human creature by studying it or something, right? The rank icon, I have no idea. We can put just a random one of these ones. I don't know, 302. No idea what is it. Type 0, special 0, attack is 0. So this will be one additional ability, and we can have maybe another one just to You know, examine creatures. Let's say examine, I don't know, lesser creature. Then we can have greater creatures and whatever. They will still be on 31. Maybe this one will be on skill 50. And this one will be something like... you can learn about creature by starting it. And this will be... 301, I don't know what is the thing. And so on, right? And so on. So the number that I need to put in my compendium activation method is 39 or 40. Is 39 or 40. So I can say 39 here, and I can say 40 here, and I can say okay, this is good because we said that the description plus the picture comes from the empathy skill. Fine. Then the habitat ecology and history are coming from opening a book. So habitat ecology and history, I will have to do something like B, and then the ID of the book. The ID of the book that I need to take from... yeah, it is a bit of a mess to create. I mean, to create the data is kind of annoying, but... I need a book. I mean, just a book that is not a quest item. Just a book that is normal book. Book of Blades? No, Book of Blades is no, just a freaking book. Anything. The arena book. Yes, the arena book I think is good. So 2029. So what I will have to do, I will have to say that this thing is activated thanks to book 2029. There's two pieces. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this column will be kind of weird to create for us. Or I put the name of the book. Should I put the name of the book and from the name? Yeah, probably is easier. If instead of the ID, I put the name. Because otherwise it will be so hard for us to recognize all this stuff. I think I can transform the ID, I mean the name into the ID internally. But I think it will be much easier to have here, you know, Book of the Arena, whatever, instead of this thing. It will not be very hard to do because actually we can just instead of searching the ID, we can extract the name, and I think that the name then we can transform into the ID here because we want to store only the ID. So yeah, probably it's better, boys. Otherwise our setting people will go completely crazy. I think they will kill me. They will kill me if I ask him to do that. So let's go have string name actually. And let's say that we take and let's say that we take this. Now from this one we need to go, but I think this one is easy because we can just do cache manager, get item by name. I hope there is a get item by name. If there is not a get item by name, we are a bit fucked. Get basics item stats by name. Yeah, exactly. This thing. And so we'll just pass name, and so we will have our ID. And then we need to get, yes, and then we need to do get ID or UID or whatever it is. Yes. Okay, so extract name. And then, yeah, the only issue of this problem is that if we change the name of the book, we are going to fuck up a bit, but I think it's easier, boys. Otherwise, it would be so hard to create the data. It would be so hard to create the data if I don't do this. No, actually, the trim, I think we can keep it. By the way. Ba-da-ba-bam. Wait, sorry, I'm looping a bit. Do we have a get ability skill by name? Yes, we have it. Okay, so I was looping a bit in my mind. And so here we do exactly the same, right? Here we do exactly the same. Yes, and we do... And you see that now, the by name is starting to be useful. Okay, I think it's basically identical now. It's basically identical now. So it should work exactly the same, just with the name. So let's try. So basically I need to put, instead of this mess, I will say... I will say examine humans. And I will say examine lesser creatures instead of 40. So we don't have the numbers anymore. We have a really have a description. And here I will say the arena book. Now if we change names to books, we are fucking up the system. So we also need to change these assignments, okay? Otherwise it will not work. Okay, let me try to see if compiling this and changing these things, we can actually load the data. I hope so. Let's go. So we launch in debug mode because there is a bit of stuff to do. So I don't know if it's clear what I did, but basically what I did is to give a way to assign these lines, okay? These lines that you see here and here. So to assign the actual book with the discoveries in the compendium. Then what we still miss is that when you open the book, we are triggering the discovery. Okay, so that's missing at the moment. In theory, we should arrive here. No? It's just taking a lot of time, or... I think it's just taking a lot of time. Yes, I think it's loading after this. Are we using the production database? Oh, fuck. Wait, we are using the wrong database. It's loading the other database. Yes, that's why it was taking so much. Okay, let's try again. We need to... Yeah, because we have the data in the dummy at the moment. I was thinking they were still completely missing musical instruments from the game. Okay, so here we are in one of them. So parse creature activation method. The creature thingy is the first description, which has number 7, yes, and he has essay examine humans. Okay. So we want to see if he's understanding. Yes, there is an essay. Okay. We want to see if the name is correct. Examine humans. Okay, fuck. This should be 3. Annoying. Okay, let me redo it then. Because unfortunately there was a mistake. Because it said to the right of the location, but actually it's not to the right of the location, it's including the location. So we need to start from 3. Okay, now the name should be okay. Yes, the name is Examine Humans. Now we want to see if we find this ability. We found it, which is very nice. It means that also the creation of the indexed T map worked fine. And so now we are assigning the creature. Okay, good, 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 good. Good, that is nice. Now we have another one. Let me see this one, if this one is a book. Yes, this one is a book. We are getting the arena book. What? Ah, fuck. So this one should be 2 and the one should be 3. So actually it was correct what he said. This one should be 2, this one should be 3. My bad. My bad. Just try again. Just try again, boys. Bam, bam. What is this music? Psychonauts. Okay. So deactivation should be correct, and we put it there. In the book. We didn't find the book. I don't know why. But we didn't find the book. So all the books are loaded after. We didn't find the book. We didn't find the book. So the book is empty. The book is not loaded. It's strange because we have all the items here. Maybe just because it's lowercase. But I think you should search it lowercase automatically, right? Yes, exactly. It's doing too lower. I don't understand why the arena book is not in this list. Why the arena book is not in this list? Let me see if we got an error for loading that particular book. Maybe we did. Maybe we got an error on that particular one. Arena book is what? The arena book. The arena book items. Wait. I did something stupid. The arena book exists, but exists in the production database. No. We need a book in the dummy database. So it's correct, actually. That one does not exist. Okay, which is fine. So I think, by the way, we should catch the error. We should definitely catch the error, so it should not happen if blank book like this one, or the book of the bug fixer. And the book of the bug fixer is beautiful. 2008. Yes, this one, the book of the bug fixer. But we want, before changing it, let me just manage the error here, because we want to be sure that we are not crashing in this case. So basically, I think that if this one is not found, we need to give an error or something, because it's not, you know, it's not something that we want to happen. So I think I will go something like this. I will go, I will go PS item stats pointer stats, and then we will say if not stats. So if this one is not valid, I think we should first of all print out an error saying hey, we have a problem. Right? So we should say error in loading discovery creature, let's say companion codex creature, and then we can put what? We can put the ID. We can put the ID of the codex creature. So we can put C ID. Yes, but I think, I mean, if this fails, I think we should really stop the server. And I mean, this should never fail. If this fails, means that we have inconsistency in the preloading of the data. So I think this one should become a boolean. This one should become a boolean. and they should really return false in case something like this happens, and we will manage the error on the other side, right? And the rest I think can be fine. The problem is that I need to replicate it here as well, which is kind of annoying. Fuck. Need to move this glass because the last time I left it there I broke it. And we do PMID. Okay, so this one at least we return false if it gives us an error in case we don't find it. I think we should do the same for the ability. I mean, if we don't find this ability, is a real problem. Is a real problem. Because it means that we are pointing to an invalid ability. So I think that we should say, if not ability, we will say error in loading. Should we do the same? Yeah, maybe. I can say book. I can say book and ability. And yeah, also in this case we will return false. Okay. Okay, CID, PMID. Okay, now we should just return true at the end. So if everything works fine, we will return true. Okay, let's try to recompile this way. And I think it's fine. I think we can change now the book name, and we can call it the proper way. So instead of the arena book will be the book of the bug fixer. And okay. What do you mean declaration is incompatible? I changed the declaration. I think that some entries may be simpler, other will be harder. So I think it is good if we can have multiple abilities on empathy that allow you to recognize creatures of different strength. And so I think we can, you know, put this into kind of a progression, you know, that the more you exercise empathy, the better. But there is a bit of a thinking that we need to do behind this. There is a reasoning on, you know, how can you train empathy? Okay, it succeeded. So let's execute it. Visual Studio is like 1 hour, well, let's say 15 minutes back, still thinking that the method's name is not correct. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Okay, so we should hit the breakpoints again. And this time, if we have an error, we will catch it. If we don't have an error, we should be able to continue properly like this. Okay, so we found a book this time. This time we found a book. We found the book again, and let me just check one thing. We found the book again. We found the book again. Holy shit. We found the book again. Fuck, is a one too many. Is a one too many relationship, boys. Is a one too many. Is a one too many. Fuck. Is a one too many. I can discover 2 pieces with the same creature. Fuck. Fuck. we can discover 2 pieces like I did now, you see? I placed 2 pieces of information of this creature on the same book. So this T-map is fucked up. This T-map must be a T-array of this. Yes. Unfortunately, yes. Because it can be multiple ones. It can be multiple ones. It can be multiple, boys. So this means that everything is fucked up. No, well, not everything. But I need to change it in a few places. Like, when I'm adding a new creature, I cannot just say add. I need to get I need to find, oh my god, I need to find by ID and seeing if this thing is returning this, right? If is found, no, by the way, that's not even a pointer. So we are not storing an array pointer, right? We are storing an array of pointers. We're storing an array of pointers. So this one is yeah. So I think this one will return empty in case we don't find anything. So I think we can just add to the entry our codex creature thingy, and then we will Is there an add or replace? Add or find or add. So is the add substituting the entry in the T map, or is just adding a new one? If already exists. I have no idea. I don't know if this one will because there is also a method called find or add, but find or add is not enough for us because we need to do this, you know, we need to do something like that. Okay. Okay, don't worry. Don't worry, there is a way, for sure there is a way to fix this, huh? There is a way to fix this. What did I do? I deleted the thing? No, I didn't. I just need to understand if add is also is substituting the previous element, or if he finds it already is not substituting it. This is what we need to understand. But yeah, everything should be an array of entries. Map of arrays, yes. A map which is holding an ID and array, yes. You mentioned too many values to have an array at the beginning. Yes, but there was another case. In this case, we need it. In that case, I didn't want to have, you know, to scan through the skill set array. But that's another case, because the skill set array was just like a useless find, while here we need to store multiple elements anyway. So we may have a book which is activating two pieces of the compendium, like the habitat and the ecology. Hello, Hungry Worlds. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. You like programming? Programming is very cool. You can do a lot of stuff with just with your brain and your hands, you know? Without without the need of additional tools, which is pretty cool. Anyway, if you want to see some funky structures, I can show you the one for crafting. The one for this structure is super easy compared to the one that we have for crafting. Do you want to see a funky structure? Let me see. Under or is under work manager, or probably is just inside cache manager as well. Let me search for transformation. Yeah. Yes. Wait, if it's not in the methods. Yes, like this one. Look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this one. Is a T map, okay? Is a T map. Which is using an int as a key and is using a pointer to another T map as a value. And that T map as a value as an ID again as a key and as a pointer to an array of transformation pointers. Which then obviously transformation pointers is another structure, you know, which is all of this. So crafting is very... Okay, but it seems that it compiled. So if it compiled, let me see what happens. How long do you write this project? Since I was young, you know? Forever, I mean, since the world existed for me. No, we made a project long time ago in another engine called PlaneShift, and that project took many years, and now we restarted. And now we restarted to do it in Unreal. So in Unreal we started in 2015, but actually I didn't do anything, basically anything, 2015, 16 and 17. So for 3 years I didn't really do much, even if we, in theory, we started when the engine became free, but we seriously started in 2018, at the end of 18. So we can say it's about 3 years that we are working on the conversion. So you can say it's about 3 years that we are working on the conversion, yes. Okay, so this should be the first one. So this in theory should return an empty array. Exactly. So in this case it's easy, we're gonna add it, fine. Now the next run will be interesting because now we find again the same book. So this find will find, yes, an array with one entry. And now I have no idea what happens if I do add on this T map. What? 0? This is kind of weird. He added what? He added one key. Yeah, it's correct. It's correct. It's correct. It's correct. It's correct. It's correct, boys. It's correct. Okay, so we have it in an array now. And so we are basically mapping multiple entries. If it doesn't crash... why we are going through stuff even if the activation type is empty? No, if the activation type is empty, we just exit. I mean, we should not even enter here. If the activation type is empty, we should not even call this function. Makes no sense to call this function if... So let's say if if C activation type is not empty, then we do this, right? Otherwise makes no sense. I mean, otherwise it's just a waste of time. Okay. Okay, nice. So this means that we are loading. So this means that now our server knows that a particular book, when opened, it should trigger 2 new entries in the compendium. Right? Now we need to add the actual activation method. So we should, when we open the book, now we need to find where in the code we have the book content. I have no idea. There should be something like send book content or something like that. I think the easiest is, I think it's send item details. I think it's send, no, send, wait, how do I found that function? If we start from player controller, there is a request item details interaction. Yes. And then there is, yes, this one. So this one is when the guy opens the book. You learned programming when you were 13, you are now 16. Nice. The answer is 412. Usually the answer is 420. 412 is a very strange number. So you see that we go view item. Actually, we have two different functions. I don't know why. If target. If he's on the ground or not on the ground. Okay, fine. Because this, if we have a target, it means that it's an actual physical object. If not, it means that is an object in our inventory. Okay. Send book text. Okay, so if it's readable and client equal to owning character and only we pass to the containers load and parent ID so we can pass them back forward when writing books. Send book text. Send sketch definition, send multiple sheets and description. Okay, so I think that the only place where we are sending books is this one. Is send book text. Is send book text. Now, I don't know if I want to do it inside of this function or just before this line. Let's see what this function is doing. So send book text. This item is locked. Wow, the book can be locked. Holy shit. Okay, so we need to do it inside of this because the book can be locked. Yeah, I think we should do it here. I think we should do it if he's not locked. So activate compendium entries, right? How do we want to do the how do you want to do the activation? Activate. So here is when we activate, when we add to the particular player. So I think we need to do client, get discovery manager, and then we need to get a method in discovery manager which we don't have yet. So we need to create it. We need to create a new method in discovery manager which is able to add the entry, right? Because I don't think we have an add. No, we don't have it. So we need it. Add compendium entry. Finally, this method is the final point that of all the work that we did in the last week or so, or 2 weeks or so. This method is what we need, what we wanted to do, to finally add a freaking entry to our character. What should we get as data? We have the book ID. That's the only thing that we need. Nothing else than the book ID. So it will just be the ID. Will just be the item ID, and that's it. Nothing else, boys. Nothing else, because all the rest is already prepared. All the rest is already prepared for us. Easy. Easy. I think we passed just the ID of this thing. Pam 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 pam. I like this song. So okay, so we have our add compendium. Turn down the volume. Okay, so this thing will activate. This thing will activate. Now, I think it would be very nice to have also a visual effect of some kind, you know? But for now... Wait, I lost myself. No! I don't know, I'm here. I know where I am. I know where I am. I just need to add this method. Okay. So here we are inside the brain of the character, inside the brain of the player, because Discovery Manager, remember, is associated to every player. So every player has one discovery thingy in his brain, and here we are inside of it, and we are saying to the player, hey, you have a new entry. You have a new entry, man. And so how do we do this? Well, in the same way we do the loading, because we already do it when we are loading the stuff from the only problem, you know what would be the issue? The issue is that we were loading all the discoveries, and so we were actually okay, wait a second. So we need to know first thing we need to know. First of all, this thing should be entries and not entry, because there can be multiple ones, but okay, it's a small thing, but doesn't mean that it's one. It can be many. By ID. Yes. So first thing we need to know which entries are associated to that book, right? And thanks to the methods that we added before, right? We can get those entries by our what it was, but our codex creature, whatever, right? But our yes, we need a get now because we don't have a get, so we need to get. So the same way we did the add, we need the get. Sorry. No, where is it? Wait. I'm lost into the methods. Okay, yeah. Get current entries in Compendium associated to one item ID. Right? So, and this one should return. Do we want to get, or do we want to set? I mean, like, we need to get and set. We need to get the entries and then set into the mind. I think we can return directly a T array of. What if we return a T array of F codex items, right? Let me try. I'm not 100% sure of what I'm saying, but I think should be the right way. So get codex items by item ID. Something like that, right? And this will be the item ID. So we ask to cache manager to get the item blah, 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 by item ID, and this will return, as we said, a T array of this. And then when we have them, we will add them to the. So it is basically get all entries associated to this item, and then we will have to add these entries to the player knowledge, right? So the problem is that this function, we don't have it yet, so we need to create it. So we have to go again in cache manager and add this thing. I think I underestimated a bit the time when I said that by tonight we will see something, but I underestimated the time by half an hour, but it's okay. So what do we do? Sorry, I lost myself a second. So we need to extract, based on this ID, we need to extract from these two structures, right? And we need to see if we actually have any entry. So actually, the code is pretty much this and this. And there is basically creatures entries, and it is plants, plant, mineral entries. And we need to see if we find something. If we find something, so if creatures entry num is greater than 1, no, is greater than 0, right? And if minerals entry is greater than 0, then what do we do? Then we add it to a new array that we need to create of F codex item. I'm just thinking if I'm doing the right thing or not, because I'm thinking, is the data stored in our player stored by FX codex item, or is it stored by codex creature? Is it stored by that or by this? When we are loading all, when we are loading, no, it's stored still in the original structures, and then only when it's sent is sent by codex item. Fuck it. Okay. That's kind of annoying. Okay. Okay. So I need so I need so I need to add to codex. Basically what I need to do, I need to add to codex creatures, and I need to add to plants and minerals. So I need to add, so the ultimate goal of this function will be to add to these two thingies. So the ultimate goal will be to add something here. The problem is that what I need to add a codex creature pointer, and a codex creature pointer yeah. So I need two functions. So I need get codex creature by item ID, which is returning a PS codex creature pointer, and then I need a get codex plants and minerals, which is returning a plants and mineral ID. I don't know why I didn't do a super class of this too. Fuck me, but it's okay. Would have been better to create a father class of these two classes, so that I could just, I guess, use one function to do everything. I did it, but I did it when we send it to the player and not when we store it. And now this is backfiring a bit on me, just in the number of functions I need to use to find out this thing, but I think it's okay. So we will have to we will have to do something like that. So here we will get just these entries, and then it will be up to us to send them back as codex items. So here, unfortunately, codex item, we don't have it yet, and we have instead, you know, these two functions, which will look pretty similar, by the way. And yes, I need to do it this way, not the other way. Okay, so nothing. So we just return this. So I basically split the thing in two. I mean, it's the same. It's the same as I was doing before. I mean, there's no difference. Wait, I deleted. Pora 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 pom. Okay, so I basically just returned these two thingies and Okay, I think we had a good point, huh? So we are so now we have the two sets, you know. Now we have the two sets, and yes, here we can do the if greater than 0. I mean, and here we will create. Here we will create. Now the way to create it. The way to create it will be similar to the code that we have here. Nearly identical, by the way. Can we just have a function that does this instead of duplicating this code again? Because duplicating this code is painful. Can I have a constructor of FPS codex item which is taking a codex creature? Yes, we absolutely need this, boys. We need a constructor of FPS codex item which is taking we need a constructor of this which is taking a codex creature pointer as an input, right? And then that code, all this code can actually go here only one time, right? Which is much better and cleaner. And we will do the same for this. I mean, unless I have to do any manipulations, but I don't. Well, there may be some special cases where I will have to, but at the moment I don't have any of those, and so I think we can just do this. So we create two constructors which are taking that element, and then they are doing the job, right? And so now here we can just pass the element to this constructor and it's done, right? And why I did this? I did this because yes, here and here. I did this because now we can reuse the same thing in our new code. By the way, it should be done also for codex locations. I mean, it should be done for everything, but for now, let's do it for the one that we use. So now here, instead of redoing, go and create, you know, the whatever, we can we can just create a new wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. So here we are. Okay, so here we are adding the compendium entry of a specific book, right? So I get all the entries that I need to add, and these are the entries that I need to add to my player. What we said that my player is still using the old structure. Yes. So I need to the structure with the pointer. So I need to add into the my creature entry, right? And my creature entry is nothing else that a codex creature of I. I'm just putting it like this to be more clear of what it is, but then we will have to do just entry ID and then entry itself, right? Yes, and we will have to do exactly the same for the plants and minerals. Now the problem is though that wait a second. Okay, right? So what this does is to add to the player memory the new entry. But there are at least two more things to do. One is to store it in the database, and two is to send it to the client so it will appear in his compendium, right? Because this one is only adding to the player knowledge. This one is only adding to the player knowledge. Then we need to store this entry into the database. Now, how do we do it? I don't think we have any code at the moment that is storing a new entry into the database, because all our code was to load something that was already existing. Holy moly, we don't have it, boys. We don't have it. We have the loading, but we don't have the store. All of this is loading and sending. So we just load from the database. We never store. Okay, fuck it. And we need to do it. We need to do it. And the problem is that it's becoming a bit late. I need to go. But yeah, there are two more things we need to do. Store to the database and send to the player. Now for storing to the database, basically for each of these entries, assuming that the entry does not exist yet, right? Because the point is that if the entry already exists, we should not do anything, because you can reopen the same book multiple times, right? And you should not really do anything. So actually here what we need to do, we need to check the entry is not already present, right? Then we need to add the new entry, and that is the code. Then we need to store the new entry to the database, and then we need to send the new entry to the player, to the player, you know, client, and display it somehow, right? These are all the pieces we need to do to have the thing completed. When we have these three pieces done, 1, 2, and 3, we can finally flag. We will be able to flag this one out. And this one and this one, if we do the other two pieces, which are here, which are just here below, right? But I think we went a long way, so I think we did a lot. We did a lot. So we basically allowed books we allowed this line. Basically, we made this line possible. Why I cannot select the color I want? Okay, we made this line possible, and we made these other lines possible. Yes. And we have now all the structures in memory loaded properly. We just missed the saving to database and the sending to the client. But I think it's pretty good. But I think it will require still 1 hour or at least, because storing to the database, I need to create the function, I need to check for duplicates and such, then I need to create, I mean, it requires at least another hour, I guess. But it's coming along well. It's coming along well, my boys. So I think for now I will go. If you like what you see, click on follow on Twitch and click on subscribe on YouTube so that we can see each other again. And also, if you really want to go the extra mile, you can check our Patreon site, which is patreon.com/planeshift. And we have a goal of 45 Patreons at the moment. We reached now 41. And what you get if you become a Patreon? Well, you get access to the alpha version of the game, which is probably the most important thing at the moment, but also you get access to our Discord channel for supporters, and you can look at the videos that I'm posting sometimes here. The frequency is not very high, but there is some interesting stuff, like you can take a look at the new minds, new spells, effects, and all of that. Right? So thank you for watching, boys. Let me see if we can do a small raid today to someone. No one is online. Okay, I'm the only one working on Unreal at the moment. I mean, I don't have the 100% of the Unreal Engine people mapped, but pretty much. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you soon. Tomorrow I will be streaming, so we'll see each other tomorrow night. Bye bye. Bye bye.